name's Nicole, and this is the CK Diary Podcast. On this podcast, I talk about all things crocheting, knitting, and sewing, and whatever crafty thing I'm up to for the week. For my tea today, I've got it in my Joyful mug, and I'm drinking that Royal Blend tea that I drank a couple of podcasts ago. So we'll start off with finished objects like we always do. And as you can see, I'm wearing mine. I finished my Corian poncho, kind of. I still have ends to weave in. I tucked in the ones right here. Let me see if I can show you guys the full thing really quick. I don't know if you guys can see the bottom there. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I've still got a block. I blocked it. It's actually a little bit damper than you'd want something you're wearing to be, but I wanted to show you guys myself wearing it today. I'm gonna block the back. I missed it. I missed pulling it down with the T-pin whenever I was blocking the front. So instead of coming down like a point like the front does, it's like a little bit more curved, but that's okay. This is the only knitted finished object that I have. I also have a crocheted finished object, but I already gifted it. I finished those little crocheted baby booties that I started last week. I'll put that pattern down below again this week. If you have any babies in your life and you want to gift them something handmade, but you maybe don't have a whole lot of time, or you're making a lot of things and you just want one more little thing to make the gift perfect, those booties, it took me maybe an hour to make both of them. They work up so fast and they use so little yarn. I think the pattern said to have 50 grams available, but I didn't even use close to that. I'm trying to think, I weighed them. I'd be hard pressed to believe I even used more than 20 grams. They were very small. Now, obviously the bigger you make, I made the 0 to 3 month size, and the bigger you make them, the more yarn you're gonna use, but I don't think you'll need 50 grams even for the 6 to 9 month size. And then I have a finished project bag as well. The main fabric is from Rifle Paper Company. And I love it. It's just got all the classics on there. I really like it. Now for bags, I know I said I wasn't going to be making any more 90s bags, or I didn't on my Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you'd probably had seen the post where I said I probably wasn't making any more 90s bags. But then I had 2 or 3 people message me and ask it, or they didn't ask if I was making more. They said they were bummed that they missed it. So I went ahead and ordered more fabric. And I believe I ordered enough to make 10. So I should have 10 more bags in the shop. The little estimated shipping thing on Etsy says I should get it by the end of the week. But last time I think it took a little bit longer. So we will see. The other things I had to show you, let me see. I have my whip. I have one knitting whip going right now. So this was one of the yarns. I guess we'll kind of do whips and acquisitions all in the same category right now, because I don't have any other whips. I'm trying to think. I don't think I had any other whips that I worked on this week. I forgot to mention at the beginning that it's thunderstorming outside, so if you guys hear any background noise, that's what it is. I wish I could have filmed at a different time, but I post on Thursday mornings and it's Wednesday and I needed to get it recorded. So if you guys hear stuff, that's what it is. But anyway, so like I said, we're gonna do acquisitions and whips all together at the same time. This is Ready to Flamingo by Florida Girl Fiber Studio. The woman who runs it, her name is Jackie, and she's so sweet. You can find her on Instagram. I'll link that down below. This is the East Coast sock set. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 437 yards at 100 grams for the main skein, and then the mini is 20 grams and 87 yards. So as soon as she posted these colors, I was like waiting and waiting and waiting for the for the opportunity to buy it, because it was so pretty. These are so pretty. Look at that pink with the little gray speckles all throughout it. It's like a really deep, dark gray with like a bluish undertone maybe. I don't know. It's so pretty. And Meredith from MD_Makers Diary, I'll link her down below too. She made minis a few weeks, or not minis, shorty socks a few weeks ago. And I loved how they turned out. So I asked her how many rows she did for the cuff and the leg, and she told me. So I used her count for the cuff and the leg. Oops. And I'm working on these minis now, or these shorties. I keep calling them minis. I don't know why. Sorry, these are not wanting to cooperate. All right. So I'm using that gray color for heels, toes, and cuffs. I love the speckling on that. It is turning out so pretty. On Jackie's sock set too, she had these little flamingo. Can you see that? Oh, I hope it doesn't turn around. She had those little flamingo stitch markers on there too. So cute. I really love how these are working up. I think they're just so cute and fun. I love pink, anything pink, as you can see. As you can see, everything I have is pink. So, and the bag that I'm using is from Black Cat and Birdie. And I'll link her Instagram down below as well, because it's not the same. Her Instagram handle isn't the same as her business name. So I'll link that down below as well. I feel like every time I get yarn, I'm like, this is probably my favorite yarn I've ever purchased, but this yarn is so pretty. I love it. All right, and another one of my acquisitions, I was gonna try to wait to use this for summer sock camp, but I couldn't wait. And then I was like, well, let me at least wait until I can show the full skeins on the podcast, but I couldn't. As soon as I picked it up from the mailbox, I brought it to my yarn room and I wound it up. All right, and this is another one of the acquisitions I received this week. This is from Granite State Yarns. It is the colorway Rainbow Road with a mini I've Been Inked. I think she said there's like pinks and purple undertones in this. I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of yellow too, maybe. I don't know. The black is really pretty though. I was really wanting something bright and neon with a black mini for summer sock camp since it's 80s and 90s themed. And the only video game I played growing up was Mario Kart. Any of the Mario games, those are the only things I played growing up. And Rainbow Road was always my favorite. And I was always Princess Peach. And I always lost. But I really love this colorway and I'm excited to work it up. And one more acquisition, but it's not yarn. It is my little summer sock camp pin. Came in the mail. So now I am all ready for summer sock camp. I really think that was all I had to talk about today. I've started running again, which has been nice. When I started knitting and crocheting, it was like an outlet for stress. I just wanted to have a little bit of a wind down at the end of the night. So I started getting into crocheting, and then I started watching Nitty Natty and Crazy Sock Lady. I think the way I actually found Nitty Natty was that I heard about the DFW, their fiber convention or fiber festival, whatever they call it, in Dallas Fort Worth in Texas. And I wanted to see a little tour of it to see if I would want to go. And so I looked up like a walkthrough of the convention, and Nitty Natty had a walkthrough from, I can't remember if it was from last year or 2 years ago, but it looked really fun. So then I started watching Nitty Natty's videos, and then eventually I found Crazy Sock Lady because I wanted to make socks, and somebody on a knitting group I was in on Facebook suggested her. So one thing led to another, and then I just started knitting all the time, and then I wanted to make myself a project bag, and then I dove headfirst into project bags and sewing like almost 2 months ago. And so that knitting, crocheting, sewing, it preoccupied all of my free time. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I try to only do things either on their nap or after they go to bed. So I have very limited time to do anything extra. And so I was using all of the extra time I had from naps and from after they went to bed to knit, sew, and crochet. And I used to run. A few years ago, golly, probably like 7 years ago now, and I loved it. But then after I got pregnant with my first baby, my nurse told me I shouldn't run until I consult with the doctor at my first appointment. And several weeks had gone by between when I called to schedule the appointment and I went to my first appointment. And they told me that since I stopped running for so long, it would probably be unwise to run throughout my pregnancy. So I just didn't. And that kind of stopped my running career. And I never really got back into it. I mean, there would be months that I would run a couple miles a day, a few times a week. But I never really got into it again the way that I was. And I probably never will. Or at least not while I have young babies. It's not really a main priority for me right now, but I do want to start running a little bit more than I have been. I've been trying to do like 1 to 2 miles a day. And then if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that my 4-year-old just started riding a bike, like a real bike, no training wheels. And that's all he wants to do now. He just wants to go riding all the time. So he'll ride his bike with me while I run, and it's so nice. It's nice I hate running by myself now. I used to love it, but I hate it now. And so he'll ride his bike while I run, and then at the end of the day, we'll do a big bike ride together. We go around our whole neighborhood. It's about 3 miles. It's nice. So I'm excited to get back into that. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it. That is all I had to talk about today. Hopefully, again, if you followed me on Instagram, you might have seen that I picked out a color to paint my yarn room. It's a sage green from Behr, and I've got a few swatches. I don't have a swatch behind me. I'm glad I didn't. I thought about putting a swatch there, but I didn't think about the podcast, so I'm glad I didn't now. But hopefully that'll be painted here soon. And I'm thinking I'm wanting to put a couple of shelves right here to put yarn on so that you guys can see. Last week, I don't think I mentioned it, but I switched it up a little bit. I had some stuff behind me last week because I'm not loving just having a plain white wall behind me. So I think I'm gonna put some shelves behind me and put some yarn on it just to have a little bit of interest behind me while I am chatting with you guys. But anyway, that is all. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Let me know down below what you are working on this week. I think the next main project I'm going to be working on is just socks. I think I'm going to do socks for a couple of weeks and relax, get some more stuff done with my bags, get some more stitching done on my temperature blanket. And I think that is all I'm going to be working on for a little while. I will see you guys next week. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.